America. When I'm not putting Trump in his proper place, I'm tuned into the Inky Mann show. You should tune in. What the hell is wrong with you? Happy Friday, you suckers.
I'm not afraid. You will be. You will be.
Hey you, thanks for tuning in to the Inky Mann show. Due to a runny snotbox, Inky Mann will not be showing that handsome face of his. Today's episode, we debut an animated project he created called Grub Grabbers. Enjoy, you suckers.
Another day, another delivery. You never know what's in store when you're a Grub Grabbers driver. Come on. Shit, here we go with the bullshit. Let's hope nobody sneezes on this ride.
What's going on?
Are we stuck?
Looks like we're on an unexpected detour. Yeah, I'm stuck in an elevator. Can you reroute my next delivery?
No problem, Ink. Hang tight, we'll get someone to help you out.
Some more of that good old-fashioned bullshit.
So what's in the bag?
You're about to find out.
You know what? I don't know about you, but that shit was tight. This week, we spoke with comedian Trevor Gerald about comedy. The show was a hit, so let's keep the conversation going. Back to it, you suckers.
Got you. Okay, so then the natural scheme of things, now it makes sense why a lot of comedians are upset with internet comedians who go from, building a following online and then they just go to clubs and think that they're going to kill it. So it seems the natural order of things is to...
I hate that mentality from people, the way that they do that. I can't stand that mentality.
Break it down.
Like, no matter what, at the end of the day, all of our goal is to make it. And everybody says like, oh, these guys who just do, stuff on TikTok or on Instagram and then they think they're going to go and kill it. It's like, yeah, no shit, they're not going to kill it. They're not stand-up comics. But the fact that they managed to do it, they're doing better than you are. It's like, I can't get mad. Like, I see people will comment on people like, Matt Rife and Troy Bond. I might not think they're like the best comics overall. I might not like their material always. This is not for me. But when I went to go see Troy Bond live, the main thing is that entire room was packed out. There was not a single seat left. He sold out 5 shows in a row. Sam Morrill, one of my favorite comics. I went to go see him at Stanford Comedy Club. They had to add a 6th show because 5 shows already all sold out, and that's 200 people. And then when it comes to just the way that those guys are able to do it, it's like, yes, a lot of those guys worked really hard. Like Troy Bond before, he was working really hard. Sam Morrill, there's a bunch of people around here who have stories of him going to clubs like Joker's Wild in New Haven back in the day when that was still open and just going and performing there. And he ended up building a big social media following later. If somebody's able to build up that following and able to get into a club from that, why would I be mad at them? They're doing what I want to do. And it's not like they're taking my spot. There's enough to go around. It's just a matter of you separating yourself from the pack. So if you're really getting that, usually the people who get that salty aren't bigger name, well-known comedians. They're guys who are still stuck at the open micer level, just like me. So it's not a lot of people who get older get really salty.
Yes.
I've seen it so many times where these guys who are 20 years in will trash a comic who's like, you know, it happened to me when I was like 3 months in. This dude who was 20 years older than me just starts trashing me for no reason. And I'm like, dog, you are 20 years in and you're still at the same level as me. Don't you think that's kind of sad? Like, don't you think that's kind of like, this is just your bitterness. That's all it is. People get bitter and that's okay. But also, definitely, you also got to be able to recognize the times where it's like, all right, it's not bitterness. This is just the fact that, you know, they're trying to help. Like Mustafa Musa, very funny comic, one of the guys that I mentioned before. Mustafa actually, like, it's kind of funny to me. He bullied me into being a better comic. Like, at first, I would bomb so bad at this place, Chris Martin's in New Haven, I would only do 2.5 out of the 5 minutes, or like 2 minutes out of the 5 minutes. And I would come off stage and him and this other guy would be like laughing at me and they would just be like, yo, why aren't you doing your full 5? You've got shit. Just work on older stuff. Do your full 5. Stop doing 2.5, pussy. And then they would just fuck with me. And then eventually, just like to stop, obviously, I started going back at them and talking shit to them, but also started doing my full 5 because they were right. It's like, it's better just to get through that time, because when you're on stage at an actual show, getting off early does not look good. It's not like an open mic where it's like, all right, I only have a limited amount of stuff that I want to work and I can get out of there.
Gotcha.
It's like, you have to stay on for that time. You got to do it. So no matter how bad you're eating shit, like I've had some terrible sets where I just wanted to jump off a bridge after, and I was like, oh my God, everybody's going to remember this. Like, at least I did all my time. Like, I've had two really bad like experiences. There was one where it was like I got booked to do 20 minutes and I was only like 3 months in, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna do 20 minutes, I'm gonna crush it. I found out very quickly I did not have 20 minutes. I had like 7 or 8 minutes. So I tried to fill up the rest with crowd work. It was just at like the 9-minute or 10-minute mark, it was dead silent. And this one black lady from the back just yells out, boo, nigga. Hills harder than any joke I told. And I'm just standing up there and I'm just like, all right, you know what? I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes just trashing the town of West Haven, Connecticut, just going off. Like, I said the worst things I possibly could. Like, you know, your SAT scores are low, just the dumbest shit I could think of. I mean, it's a good story for now. It's fun for now. That's like,
oh God.
Welcome to the Inky Mann podcast, a place where inspiration meets the seductive worlds of gastronomic exploration and flashing Las Vegas lights. Your host, Inky Mann, will take you on a tour around the vibrant streets of Vegas while providing you with a delightful fusion of culinary delights, motivation, and insight. Whether you're craving insider information on the greatest eateries in the area or you're searching for inspiration to help you reach your goals, the Inky Mann podcast is your go-to source for everything positive, Las Vegas approved and foodie approved. So grab a seat, hit play, and let's explore Inky Mann's dynamic fusion of culinary adventures and inspiration.
I'm not at that level yet. But there was that, and then I once, me and another comic got pepper sprayed at an open mic.
By the crowd?
Yeah, it was that's a very one-off experience. This was the craziest thing that happened. So, like, so there was this mic that we were doing at, I don't want to mention the name of the club because it's a good club. I don't want to, like, you know, ruin the name of it because it's like, it's still very fun, very good. This is a very one-off incident. I just need that to be clarified before anything.
Okay.
So this girl came down and I knew she was going to be a problem just based off of the widescreen forehead and tracksuit she was wearing. Like, it was one of those, like, I looked at her and I was like, all right, you smell like hot Cheetos and Percocet. I'm positive. Like, she was just loud the whole night, talking mad shit, looked like a fake ass Sexy Red. And she just kept going off on everybody from like the first comic, like yelling at the host, threatening the host. So I was like number 13 on the list. And I was like one of the first ones to snap back at her and be like, hey, if you think you're this funny, you should go sign up. And me and her got into a little bit. I poured gas in the situation. The next comic up after me, this dude, David Gonzalez, a very good friend of mine, he goes up, he makes one simple joke, and she loses it. She smashes a glass and throws it at him and then starts throwing more. And incredible aim. She went 3 for 4 off this nigga's forehead overall. It was like really, really good aim. I was surprised. But she starts hitting him. They manage to drag her out and get her out, and she's just yelling. And after he gets off stage, me and him are, we're in the corner like, yo, we should get the fuck out of here right now. Didn't get the chance. She just comes stomping back down the stairs with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend's walking up with his hands in his pockets. And David's trained in jiu-jitsu. So David grabs the dude by the collar, pulls him in, and just bang, throws him back a little bit. He falls into the chairs and falls back. And I go to like step in to pull him back, aka we're about to jump him because I'm not gonna let my boy go out like that. Like there was like 8 comics ready to go. And then the girl just pulled out the pepper spray and let it off like Al Pacino and Scarface. I went from so ready to start throwing punches to as soon as I felt it just grow right across here, I was just like, nope. I turned around and just dipped back. When I still could see, I'm holding my eyes open, and like my friends kind of swoop me up, bring me to the green room. They're just pouring water on my face. I'm starting to like literally drool because of how bad I got hit. I got hit directly in the eyes. So like I have to take my shirt off and everything, and they're just still pouring water on my face. And I'm like, I just don't know what to do because like now it all happens so fast. They bring me up outside and like the paramedics are checking me out and stuff. And I end up getting walked through the restaurant, out the front door, and like into an ambulance as everybody sees me like a fucking group of people. They're not a group, like basically half the street is watching as there's cops outside. They're interviewing my friend. They've got the girls in custody. One girl is like kicking at the cop trying to like fight him. And this is all, by the way, this is all what I heard after because I couldn't fucking see. I couldn't see. So like I have my head down. I just got my eyes open. I'm like the guy from SpongeBob, just my eyes, like just losing it. I don't know what to do. And as soon as I get to the hospital, everybody comes around and asks me, hey man, what joke did you tell that got you pepper sprayed? And I gotta tell them it's not even my fucking joke. It was not me. I didn't do that shit. That was just purely bad luck and an attempt to be a good friend.
Yeah, you are killing me. You are killing me. I'm out, yo. I'm out, yo.
Make sure to tune into the Inky Mann podcast to get the full interview with Trevor Gerald. Catch it on Spotify soon. Next week, we speak with animator TJ Sullivan, who's worked on projects like Barnyard and Dragons. Stay tuned, you suckers.
And it was a lot of fun. She loved doing it. She really got into it. So I'm directing my kid. And then the animation would go away, right? To overseas, 6 months.